Hey guys, how's it going? And I thought I'd make a video because I didn't make one on Saturday, and I had like 5 things planned, but I kind of threw it all up to work on this. As you already know from the name, I'm working on a version of Among Us as literally everybody and their grandma. Now mine is kind of unique, and I'll go over why, but before I get into that, I found out that literally negative 20% of you guys are subscribed, so if you don't do it right now, I will be coming for you. And when you hop on the server, I will vote you off every time. But anyways, that aside, we have 7 tasks completed, and it took me about 3 hours each one, maybe 2. It depends on which one it is. I'll show you all the tasks and kind of go over stuff. I have 0 build done. This is all I have built. Very genius, very genius. So much work done. But I actually plan to have this thing done by Saturday, hopefully, or before that. So let me do game roll, Senkami, and feedback off, and I'll show you kind of the nature of this version. So it's kind of unique. I've seen a lot of other approaches using chests. I've seen an approach using separate rooms. I would say separate rooms is the worst approach, just because you run into a lot of issues of when someone's doing a task, it's impossible to kill them, or maybe you have some kind of placeholder dummy and then you use that, but then it's impossible to know when somebody's sneaking up on you while you're doing a task. It's very different from the core gameplay mechanics, and every task would become a visual task because if you don't see somebody teleport away, then they definitely have to be a imposter. Anyways, so my method is using Telra, and I'll show you one of them right now. So my method is using these Telra menus, and yellow indicating things you can click, red and green kind of being status indicators, and then there's just various little tasks that work for Telra. The reason I'm using Telra is because it's the most accessible and makes the most sense to the core gameplay mechanics, in the sense of I can kind of see what's going on around me when I'm interacting with it, and I can turn my head and still interact with it, but then when I move, I'll make it disable and you have to restart. I already have those kind of things set up to work, but they're not done yet. A lot of the core gameplay is already coded. But yeah, so this method is the most fluid to the core gameplay mechanic methods. But then there's also the question of how do you even do this? Because this is incredibly difficult and it takes me multiple hours. Anyway, so the goal of this, I'll just show you all the ones I've done. Then I'll roughly go over like kind of how I did it, but it's literal pain. I'll just show you all the work that went into it. And so this one, you have to make all the status lights green. This one's called balance, nicknamed balance, because you have to make all of them at the same level. And then does a little animation and it closes, showing you completed the task. I'll add additional stuff to show you completed it. I have a lot of ideas in that field for how to show tasks. But every time you click it, it'll be different. Sometimes one of the lights is already indicated, sometimes none are. So you have to figure out what's the level. Which it's actually at the bottom. So this one's balance. That one's pretty simple. They're not supposed to be difficult or challenging. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. So this one is sequence. This one actually has sound effect. You have to click the numbers 1 to 9. This one took probably the longest to make because the numbers can be anywhere in the field. So that means that I have to have at best, which I did the best implementation, I have to have 192 commands that are almost hard-coded. It's like you have to copy-paste change lines. It's kind of annoying. It's hard to do in Excel for it. Anyway, that's sequence. Then we have activate. This one, no. This one's tricky. I'll just leave that this one's tricky. This one's one of the hardest ones to do. It's a short task, but it's kind of a long task in the complexity. Oh man, I messed it up. Yeah, so sometimes it's better just to restart this one. I might just be bad at these games, so you probably see a solution that I don't. I'm not really in my right mind right now after doing this for hours on end. But let's say hypothetically I got it all filled out. Then it would... Ooh, how come they always end up in the corner? I hate the ones in the corner. There we go. I think I can solve this. Yes. Okay. But yeah, it'll just put 1. I had it putting 3, but 3 was too annoying to do, so I just did 1. Then there's rewire. Rewire I have to remake. It was the first one I made, so I have to recode the UI, but it looks all right. The idea is still there. And we have fuel. This was the second one I made, so I might change the UI, I might not. But yeah, you just fill it up, and then you go to the distribution centers. That'll be in different locations. And you can't go to these unless you have the first one completed. Then there's power redirect. This one's cool. So there's 6 different options. It doesn't randomize. It's based on what location it wants you to go to, which that I still need to code. But basically, one of these will be yellow, and you click it. And then you go to the end location that's desired, and you click this. So I know it's not like the best looking stuff, but I'm trying to make it so you can play this game without a resource pack if necessary, and then the resource pack kind of like supplements. Anyway, so data download. This is the most recent long task I did. You click this, and you wait 8.5 seconds for this thing to fill up. And once it's full, then you've downloaded the data. Then you have to go to the corresponding location to upload the data, wherever that might be. Probably something like communications room. And then when it's completed, you finish the task. So yeah, I've worked on the actual tasks first since they are the most painful thing to do. I probably won't add any more of tasks along these lines, just have different variants in different locations. And then I just have to do 2 visual tasks. So really what I'm doing is working on the map now. And we do have a theme for the build, so we'll be building it soon, but it's not going to be a copy of the original. But other than that, I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what's going on, kind of a little devlog thing. I'll show you some of the code involved. So this is just for data upload. I have to have one thing for each of these, and I have to, I can't like custom generate these. It'd be really hard. I have to build a generator specifically for this specific project, which probably would take me just as long to do. But yeah, there's just so many functions. So we have tasks, and then we go to, let's go to short, let's go to sequence. This thing is insane. If you go to build, I'm going to lag just opening the file, and we have all these lines of code. It's a lot. I don't have to hard code every situation. You can see this is only like 9 lines of telraw, but there's a whole bunch of data modify stuff because I basically conditionally set things into a data modify, and then I pull from the structure in the telraw, and what's there is dependent on conditions. So yeah, big pain. It all works out though, and it has quite a few implementation things to prevent cheating, so it's pretty hard to cheat the system. There's a few ways, but you would have to know what the telraw ID system is for everything, and you wouldn't be able to complete a task without actually going to the place, but you could probably shortcut 1 or 2 of these tasks. But ones like sequence are impossible to shortcut. Ones like balance, again, impossible to shortcut. Activate, impossible. But then some of them are like download, you could probably shortcut, but it has quite a few protection methods, and it would take a lot of effort, and who cares at that point. But anyways, so this is just my implementation. I'm not done yet, and I'm probably going to start working on building tomorrow or the day after that. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.